Hi, and welcome back to the Learning Room. This is Lecture 7 of our crash course in Morphology. Today, we're diving into affixes, specifically prefixes, suffixes, and infixes, from a morphological point of view. By the end of this lecture, you'll easily identify each type, understand how they function, and analyze words just like a morphologist. Let's begin. Let's begin with the most fundamental question. What are affixes? Affixes are bound morphemes, added to a base or root, meaning they cannot stand alone as independent words. These bound morphemes attach to a base or root, and when they do, they modify either the meaning of the word or its grammatical function. Affixes come in several types, but today we focus 3 types of affixes: prefixes, suffixes, and infixes, the most common cross-linguistically and the most relevant for English and world languages. The first type of affixes is prefix. Prefixes are affixes that appear before the root word. Prefixes are attached to the beginning of a root. When they are added, they usually modify the meaning of a word. They do not change the grammatical category of word. Let's take some examples of English language. Un as a prefix appears in the beginning of word. When it appears before the root happy, it just modifies the meaning of the word, not the grammatical category of this word. So happy becomes unhappy. Re is a prefix adds in the beginning of root right, and it changes into rewrite. The new word rewrite has the same grammatical category, just the meaning are modified. Other examples like misinterpret and disapprove also highlight the same phenomena. Key point here is that in English, prefixes are mostly derivational, meaning they change the meaning of a word, happy, unhappy, but they usually don't change its word class. Suffixes are the second type of affixes. They appear after the base, means they are attached at the end of a word. When they are added at the end of word, they often change word class, tense, number, or grammatical function. To understand this, let's have some examples from English language. When S suffix is added in the end of word cat, it form cats, which is a plural. Here word class is not changed, just the number changed. In second example affix, ed is added in the end of word walk, formed walked. Here again word category remains same, just the tense changed. In third example suffix, added in the end and changed the teach into teacher. Here the suffix has changed the grammatical category of the word. It was verb and later it became noun. In the fourth example, ness is added in the end and changed the happy into happiness. Happy is adjective and happiness is a noun. So this suffix changed the grammatical category of the word. Key point to take here is that English suffixes can be inflectional, s, ed, ing, etc., or derivational, ness, met, tie-in, etc. Prefixes are mostly derivational. Suffixes are both inflectional and derivational. The term infix refers to an affix that is inserted inside a root or stem. This is a common process in many Austronesian and Semitic languages, but rare in English. Infixes are inserted within the base or root, not before or after the word. English language and morphology does not employ productive infixation for grammatical purposes. Hence, English is considered a language without true infixes. But in spoken form of language, some word informally take infixes. Forms such as abso-bloody-lutely and fan-freaking-tastic represent expletive infixation, a rhetorical device rather than a morphological rule used to create emphasis or emotional intensity in informal speech. These infixes are not grammatical, they are expressive, only used in spoken form, not commonly. But other languages use real morphological infixes. The key point here is to understand that infixes are a legitimate morphological process in many world languages, though English rarely uses them productively. This comparison table helps you to grasp these concepts easily. Prefixes are affixes added to the beginning of a base. They are very common in English. English language uses them mainly for derivational purposes, such as negation and repetition, re, or direction, pre. Beasts, English, Swahili, and Arabic also use them. Suffixes attached to the end of a base. They are extremely common in English language. They are the most productive type of affix in English, used for both derivational, e.g., ness, full and inflectional functions, e.g., s, ed. Their main function is to make new words and clarify the rule of grammar. Besides, English, Turkish, and Russian languages also use them. Lastly, infixes are inserted inside the root. English does not have grammatical infixes, but uses expletive infixation in informal speech, fanbloody-tastic. Their main function is emphasis or clarify the grammar of the language. True grammatical infixation occurs in several Austronesian and Southeast Asian languages, such as Tagalog and Khmer, etc. Now the next most important question is that why do languages use affixes? Because affixes help languages in creating new words with the help of derivational prefix and suffix. They help to identify the grammatical category of the word with the help of inflection suffixes. The inflectional suffix express relations like tense, aspect, voice number, and case. Use of affixes help to expand the vocabulary of the language. And morphologists study these patterns to understand the structure of words in a language, their meanings and grammar. The idea of dividing affixes into prefixes, suffixes, and infixes did not appear randomly. It developed gradually as linguists studied languages. Here is the historical and theoretical background. Early linguists during 1800s to 1900s, especially those studying Sanskrit, Latin, Greek, and Germanic languages, noticed that words had smaller meaningful parts that attached in different positions of words, like beginning, middle, or end. For example, they observed that word rewrite has a smaller part which is coming in beginning of word and changing the meaning of it. Re plus write equals rewrite. And in word teacher, a smaller part came at the end of word and changed its grammatical category. Teach plus equals teacher. Likewise, independent. It dawned on them that they needed a classification system, so they can name these small parts of the words appearing at different positions in a word according to the processes based on where the morpheme attaches. Thus came pre mean before, and prefix means an affix which came in the start of word. And sub means after, so suffix means an affix which came at the end of word. These names were influenced by the Latin language. In Latin language, pre means before, and sub means after. But till that time, infixes were not found in the European languages. When linguists studied Austronesian, Semitic, and Native American languages, all of these are non-European languages, they noticed something surprising. Some languages insert morphemes inside the root, not before or after. Example from Tagalog, sulit, right, simulat, wrote, here, appears within the word. Beside Tagalog, Philippines language also uses them excessively, and many others. Therefore, they concluded that European languages had almost no examples of this, so early linguists realized not all affixes are attached at the edges of a word. And they created a third term, infix, and means inside. So infix means an affix which inserted in the middle of the word. This system made words structure predictable, logical, and scientifically analyzable for researchers and linguists. Now let's discuss about modern view of morphology. This era started from 1070s to present. In this era, with the rise of different concepts like generative linguistics presented by Chomsky, language typology introduced by Greenberg, and cognitive linguistics, researchers began comparing thousands of languages. And they found out that most languages use prefixes and suffixes. Many languages, especially Austronesian and Semitic, use infixes. There are some languages which use circumfixes, and some use simulfixes, transfixes, or templatic morphology, which made it evident that classification of affixes is a cross-linguistic tool. It helps linguists see patterns in how languages structure their words. To understand it better, we need to study other language systems as well. That's it for today's lecture. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next lecture. Your room to learn is just a click away. Like and subscribe today.